You, man, in my life, it's like the day. It was stupid booty.
I can turn the lights up to make it brighter in here.
It's okay. I just want to get you guys talking. Like you guys Yeah, turn the light on.
Booming out of house, it changed action for a way. Take pictures.
Oh, hell. Okay. I can't see him. I can see Drew's face. It's recording. I can't see any of them. See Ricky's shirt? It doesn't have a flash. I mean, on the video. Keep doing the sound.
Swag slurping.
Swag slurping?
Swag slurping.
Swag slurping?
Swag slurping.
That was funny. Swag slurping.